Hi everyone, my name is srallison and I'm the CONNECTpreneur Community Manager. A lot of you have seen emails from me, so I'm excited to get to meet you in person if we haven't already. But I just want to go over a few of the presenter and prep guidelines for the upcoming event. We're super excited to have you present, and I know that everyone will do a great job. So we just want to go through these few things to make sure that everyone is ready to go. So the first item is to make sure that everyone has my phone number. And the reason for this is because the text chat during the Zoom meeting and everything will get super overloaded. And so if you need to get a hold of me for any reason at all, I want to make sure that you have my phone number so that you can text me because I will have my phone right next to me during the whole meeting so that if anyone needs any help during the presentation, during the breakout room, for anything at all, you have my phone number. So just please make sure to write that down, put it in your phone. You can even text me if you want with your company name and your name so that I have your number. So that's just good to make sure that you have that. The next item is background noise. Make sure that there's no background noise during your presentation, no dogs barking, that there's no cell phones going off. Even sometimes if you have your cell phone next to you and it's on vibrate, we can hear it on the table. So just make sure it's on silent. Um, you don't necessarily need to turn it off if you're planning to use it for a timer, but just make sure it's on silent so we don't hear any noises during your presentation and there's no distractions. Um, the next item, which I will show you a video about next, is adding your company name to your Zoom name. This is important so that investors can find you easily if they want to private message you during the event, or if they want to get a hold of you somehow to get your deck or executive summary or follow up with you after. They can go through the list of participants and they can find your name with your company name, and then they can private message you that way. So when we watch this next video, I will show you how to do that. So as you can see, I'm going to unmute and then I'll click screen share and choose the right window that I want to share. In this case, it's the PowerPoint. Then I'm going to go down to the bottom right of the PowerPoint screen and click the presentation mode. So then I'll be in presentation mode and I'll be able to click through my presentation. I'll give my presentation and then make sure you click that stop share button. And then I'm going to mute again. So like I said, if you want to watch that again and again to make sure that you got everything, feel free to watch that over and over. Definitely take note where that presentation mode button is, because sometimes we have a lot of issues with people finding that button. So just make sure you watch that. And then also make sure that the only two screens open are your Zoom meeting and then your presentation. Don't have Google Chrome open or Safari or anything else. Just make sure that you only have two windows open during the event. So once again, here's the process for everyone. Um, and then the last point about this is to make sure that you only have one monitor. If for some reason you have two monitors, we want to just take that down to one because we see a lot of issues with two monitors during the presentation where it doesn't share presentation mode right, or something happens. So it's super, super, super important to only have one monitor or one screen if you're using a laptop. Do not have two monitors open. So that's super important. The next point is if you prefer speaker or gallery view. So in this next video, I'm going to show you how to change from speaker to gallery or vice versa. For speaker mode, this is that you can only see yourself during the presentation. And gallery mode, you'll see about yourself plus 3 to 5 people or so on the side of your presentation. So this is definitely a preference thing. It is up to you, whatever you prefer, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows how to do this, just so that you get it how you want it for the actual presentation. So if you look at this video, you'll see the view button at the top right corner, which is where you can switch it from speaker to gallery or vice versa. So once again, speaker, you'll only see yourself during the presentation, and gallery, you'll see yourself plus a few more people. So like I said, it's preference, whatever you prefer. We just want to make sure that you know how to do that. The next item is the breakout room. So In this next video, I'm going to show you how the breakout rooms work so that you get kind of a detailed view on that. After all 8 to 12 presenters give their presentations, you'll hear Tian announce that he's going to open up the breakout rooms. And right now we'll take a little look at how that looks, but you'll see the button on the bottom of your screen. So once he announces that, you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see that breakout rooms button. And you're going to click that, and then you'll see your company name. So in this case, I put CONNECTpreneur and Opus 8 just for demonstration purposes. So I would click CONNECTpreneur and join, and then I'm in my breakout room. And then you can click leave room, and you can leave the meeting or leave just the breakout room, which will take you back to the main session. In this case, you'll probably want to return to the main session once breakout rooms are over. You will see me give some announcements during your breakout room that say there's 5 minutes left and then 2 minutes left, and then they'll do a 60-second countdown. So you'll have a good idea of when those are ending. The breakout rooms, the total time that the breakout rooms are usually about 30 to 40 minutes. So you will join your breakout room that way. Anyone from your team will join the breakout room that way. Everyone has the same Zoom link, and it's all done the same way. But of course, I will be there to help if you're having any trouble or if anyone from your team is having trouble. And once again, that's why I have you write down my phone number so that you can text me if there's any issues at all. But it is your breakout room, so you can share whatever decks, documents, data, whatever you want in there. What we suggest is to have someone with you from your team, and they can go in the breakout room and they can have something ready to almost just copy paste to investors as they join the room and get their email. Just say, hey, thanks for joining my breakout room. If you want to give me your email, I can send you some follow-up information. So that's one idea. You can even take a screenshot of the participants who are in your breakout room, anything like that. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to record breakout rooms. Zoom doesn't allow us to do that. But if you have any third-party recording system or anything that you'd like to do that, you can go for it. We just suggest to let the participants know that you're recording the breakout room. But other than that, there should be no issues if you wanted to do that on your own. So the final item on here in the final video is about saving the chat. And saving the chat is super important because we will save the chat for you. But if there's anyone who private messages you, we obviously won't have those since it's a private message. So you're going to want to make sure to save those so that you get all of those private messages. So you're going to want to make sure to save the chat 2 times during the event. The first time is right before we go into breakout rooms, and then the second time is right before those breakout rooms end. Right before we go into breakout rooms, you want to save it because once you enter your breakout room, you no longer have access to that chat that was before. That will go away. So make sure you save it right before your breakout room. And usually Tian is good at announcing that it's time to save the chat, but just in case, make sure you take note of that and write it down. And then save it once again at the end of your breakout room. And I will show you this final video on how to save the chat. So if you open up your chat box and then you'll go to that bottom right hand corner where there's the 3 dots, click on that, and at the top you'll see save chat. And then if you have a MacBook, it'll show in Finder so you can see it right there. So that's how you save the chat after the presentations before breakout rooms and after breakout rooms right before they end. Make sure to save it once again. Okay, last 2 items are in the case of a very unlikely need for us to screen share for you, we will have your deck, which is why I ask that all of you send me your deck by the specific due date. You'll just have to please tell us next on the slides if we are sharing for you. But once again, very unlikely, we just have it just in case of a screen share emergency or audio or something isn't working right. And then last but not least, and very important, is we do not want to have to cut you off at that 4.5 minute mark, which is why we suggest that everyone rehearse to 4 minutes so it gives you that 30-second buffer At 4.5 minutes, TN will cut you off if he needs to. So we just don't want you to have to get to that point. So that's where I suggest if you have your phone next to you or some sort of timer, just put it next to you so that you suggest or so that you know where you are at with the time. That's our suggestion to you so that no one has to cut you off and we don't have to get to that point. And finally, we're super excited for your presentation. We know that everyone's going to do a great job. And if you have any questions at all, you have my email, so you can email me or you can text me, and I'd be happy to answer those. But we want to wish everyone good luck, and we know that if you follow these prep guidelines, that everyone will be super successful. And we're looking forward to seeing your presentation.